Welcome to Java, and thank you kindly for joining me on this Friday. It is October 10th, 2025. I appreciate all of you being here and all you do to support this channel. So, thank you for everyone being here. If you do like this information, please remember to hit the like, it does help. So, I appreciate you all. We've got a market that's looking very interesting this morning. It is closed on Monday for trading for the holiday. So is this market possibly about to cook? We are on day 10 of a shutdown through the United States government, and we've got quite a few external things going on geopolitically. So we'll go through those and let's get started, as always, with what's going on in the markets. Fear greed meter has pulled back significantly. Yesterday did, as we were kind of expecting, was very weak, very choppy, and quite a few people got liquidated yesterday, particularly in some options areas. So we've got the fear greed meter at 47 now, down from 52, 53 area yesterday. So neutral still, but it's showing quite a bit of weakness. We've got the 10-year yield is a little bit lower. This is mostly on what is going on geopolitically. Japan and also the war. We'll talk about that in a moment. Relative strength of the dollar is strengthening. It's at 99.30. This is the highest it's been for a little while here, kind of setting up. It did say it was kind of hitting a support area and looking to strengthen. And that is what it is doing now. As the dollar strengthens, asset prices will tend to go down. That includes stock prices, equities, and the like, as the dollar can relatively, the perception is that it can purchase more. So we've got stocks looking a little bit weak still, although a little bit more flat. So I'm expecting a bit more chop today. We've also got, with the holiday closure on Monday, also paydays coming for government sectors that are not actually going to make it out because of the shutdown. So, with all of this uncertainty, the probability is going to be that toward the end of the day, in particular, that the big money will sell off. No one wants to stay in the stock market with all of these things going on for an extended weekend to boot. So, we've really got to be cautious toward the end of the day, looking at that possible sell off. Gold and silver pulling back slightly. Now, gold came back down below 4,000 level. This actually needs to be updated. The silver level pulling back from 50 psychological level we kind of spoke about. Crude oil is dropping, and this is because of the Middle East occurrences. We are in kind of negotiations right now. They've got a ceasefire. They are exchanging hostages and letting some of the hostages go. So, could there be a bit more peace in the Middle East? It's not total peace, but it's a start moving towards something. Now, don't get me wrong, the defense sector will continue and stay strong. So, right now, our daily driver, we are in a data desert, meaning we're not getting information. We're supposed to be looking forward to CPI next week, and those numbers will not be coming out. So, for the most part, what is getting a lot of Fed speakers and looking to corporations are now having to look at real data and see what's actually going on. So we've got a few more things going on. Some negotiation is supposed to be happening with China very soon. So with this, they are kind of posturing themselves, if you will, so that they can have a position of strength when they are negotiating with President Trump. So what are they doing? They have opened a investigation of some of the chips coming in. So Qualcomm now in particular is under scrutiny by China. This is driving the stock price down this morning. They are also implementing some controls, import controls with NVIDIA chips. They're also unveiling sweeping rare earth export controls, and they're saying it's to protect their national security. But they're also making deals with other countries that they're trying to squeeze out the rare earth minerals for the United States in particular, for strength of, again, positioning for this negotiation coming back. So we've got precious metals, look like they're a bit weak, going to pull back, watching for an opportunity. We've got the ETFs. This is looking like a rotation time. What do I mean by this? If you've got ETFs in your metals that you're using to trade, might be a time to take profits on some of those and use it for the drop to put them into the actual physical metals themselves so you can get them offline. So cryptocurrencies, they have pulled back a bit, but it looks like they're gaining a bit of strength again this morning. There's a few things going on in the crypto sector I'll talk about in a bit. If you want to look at inflation, we've got a couple of inflation gauges. They're a lot more reliable, probably a little more true. Trueflation is one of them. So I just want to bring that up in case you want to see some real numbers. Shadow stats is another. Now, calendar. Consumer sentiments supposed to come out this morning, 10 a.m. Federal budget will not be coming out with this shutdown, but we will hear from Goolsbee, quite a few Fed presidents saying we're in wonderful shape, so not a trouble at all. So, artificial intelligence still on deck. More traders beginning to use AI. In fact, this is the quote that ChatGPT is being used, and the prompt, give me 5 trade ideas. Well, if they're all using the same AI for their trades, this actually in reality can open up some trade opportunities for those that are willing to think for themselves. So arbitrage is a little bit different. We've got market bits and info wanted to cover Qualcomm down. This is because of the antitrust probe. And then, as I was saying, the customs crackdown on Nvidia, although Nvidia is looking stronger because they're announcing more deals. So as they're getting more deals, it's kind of bolstering their stock. We've got this is coming from European Central Bank's Kazakhs, saying that Europe should consider a joint defense budget. Now, a couple of things on this. First off, that's kind of what NATO is doing at the moment. And they have requirements to put forward to this. They've got their 5% target. So, aside from that, uh, the defense sector is not going to, it could pull back, but it's not going away anytime soon. Even if these peace deals are negotiated, it's still moving forward. They want to bolster and renovate large portions of all of their defense. So this will continue. As well, we've got kind of a related story. Trump did not receive the Nobel Peace Prize. In fact, it went to Venezuelan opposition, Maria Corina Machado. So she won the award this year for some democratic moves. Very interesting positioning there. I want to shift to blockchain and the digital currency and the digital ID that we are heading towards in this economy. We cannot avoid it. Now, Telegram's Durov, it's the beginner of this, he's saying we're running out of time to save the free internet. I can't agree with him more. I don't believe it's too late, but I do think it's well underway. We've got Democrats, this is in the United States, proposing a restricted list for DeFi, stands for decentralized finance, in case you don't know, these protocols, and they're sparking an outcry. Now, what is the outcry? Is that they are kind of putting in little backdoors to where they can shut down any decentralized finance, any trading that they cannot regulate and have full surveillance of or control. Now, I've got up here AML sanction screening. This is one of their little tools, if you will. They start saying that it's anti money laundering systems. And they're also claiming that this is for your own security, for your own safety. So, along with them, they've got partners in the EU looking at stablecoins in order to challenge the dollar monopoly. So they are looking at putting out their own EU stablecoin, but they're actually bold enough to call it a CBDC. So they're being a little bit more forward about it. We've got large banks now leading this cryptocurrency pack. Now they say cryptocurrency, but really they're also looking at stablecoins, CBDCs, and credit unions close behind We just spoke about this the other day. There will be a continuance of mergers, closures of the banks going forward. All of the smaller ones will be out. There's a massive number that still need to be culled. They need to close down this window so that nothing slips through the cracks. That way, they have total surveillance of not just your financial moves, but also all of your social media as well as other looks into your life. So, this total surveillance. So, back to the banks. SmartPay handling $1 billion in annual USDT payments being acquired by artificial intelligence. So they're looking to expand this is a partnership with Tether, expanding artificial intelligence driven digital payments network. This in specific is across Latin America and Africa. And I'm bringing this up because they're not the only one, but they are starting these other areas where it's much more easily accepted because there's less of a realization what the end game is in these areas. Now, the Western world, meaning more in particular Europe, is beginning to cue into this, and there's a larger contingent in the United States that want nothing to do with this total surveillance, digital ID being tied in with the currency system. So, with all of this, we are heading towards this so they can fully tax you on all transactions, everything that you do online, whether you've got side hustles, whether you use eBay or any others online. So, that is coming for us in the future. In the meantime, I wish you all a wonderful weekend. It's going to be a long one as far as the markets, and I'll see everybody prior to the markets open on Tuesday. Until then, my friends, stay free.